In my opinion, it's been a pretty positive year for Halo. Seeing more Halo Infinite at E3, Reach finally being released on the MCC, and we're now embarking on a new decade which spells great things for Halo in the years to come. With the new year comes the start of a new game, and I want to talk you through why I think the opening cutscene of Halo Infinite is perfect and how it compares to the other games in the franchise, and why contextually it makes a lot of sense now to see Infinite take the path that it has.
Ultimate Halo.
What's going on, guys? Fletch here from Ultimate Halo, and welcome back. Please support our journey to Halo Infinite by leaving a like and subscribing so you don't miss out on our future content. And just a little foreword, yes, this is the opening cutscene to Halo Infinite. It was confirmed by the studio head Chris Lee, but we'll get more into that later on. From the very first days of the Pillar of Autumn, you were thrown into a huge set of armour with little to work with. The Chief explored a new ring world that encountered many enemies along the way. But when it boils down to how this game started, you were dropped right into the action. It's clear Cortana and Keyes needed some help from the most dangerous weapon on the ship, and you, the player, were introduced to the world. It's a very simple way of introducing a character, and it needs nothing more. Context wasn't entirely required for who you were, more so for why you were there. In Halo 2, as the lore and the universe expanded, you saw more about both sides of the coin. Chief's equivalent was punished for his failure to secure the safety of the ring, all whilst you saw Chief being commended for his actions. As usual, you started off in the armoury, getting to know your bearings, adjusting to your new set of Miona armour, and from there, working your way to a ceremony that soon leads to the action. Chief is used to being plunged straight into the thick of the battle, and then you battle it out on Cairo Station to protect Earth's defense system from a Covenant bomb. As the story unfolds, Halo 2 ends on a slightly different note, where Halo 3 can directly continue as the same battle unfolds. The screen then opens to see Cortana giving a speech about the Chief, with his look and what made him stand out from the rest. At this point, Chief was more of an established character within the series. We knew a bit more about him and his reaction to the events unfolding around him, but Halo 3 is where we would put an end to this battle for now. With that said, we see him crashing out of the sky, only to be found locked up on the ground surrounded by Marines and Sergeant Johnson. It did honestly seem like he was down and out, but to their surprise, by the grab of an arm, he rose to give hope once again. He'd get his bearings, and as always we would resume his fight against the Covenant to protect the Earth and the rest of mankind.
Were it so easy.
Already from Bungie's first 3 openings, it was a key theme that was concurrent. Chief represented hope and the highest achievement for humanity. Little context was needed to introduce him, other than him being the man that would help you on the journey to protect humanity. That's what the Chief did best, as he suspended himself in slipspace for just over 4.5 years. You soon got to step foot into the Spartan 2's boots once more and start aboard the Forward Unto Dawn, creeping out of cryosleep upon detection of a strange, unknown scanning signal. At this point, Cortana was vulnerable due to her rampancy, and Chief would be Cortana's hope, less so humanity's at the moment. A key theme for this game was the connection between him and Cortana, and in my eyes, everything else sort of came secondary to a degree. Then Halo 5, our first glimpse of Chief was on board a Pelican, heading towards Argent Moon. This to me is the biggest departure from our first look at Chief in a Halo video game, but you also do notice that I actually missed out the opening with Fireteam Osiris. For the sake of my point, I'm going to concentrate on the Chief, because it was a fun opening with the cutscene with Osiris in my opinion, although seeing the Chief in the state he's in is much different and more compelling in my opinion. This man is clearly in emotional pain, and as the Spartans aren't really socialised, we don't know how to deal with these emotions, and he's gone into a very reclusive state. He goes then to embark on a mission to deal with his grievance. Even one of his best friends, Fred, picks up on this and he confronts the Chief. He then knows he's pushing himself too far, and you know what? He is entirely correct. At this point throughout the game, it's clear that Chief needs answers and wants to bring Cortana home, but after seeing her intent to claim the mantle of responsibility, it seems that he has no choice. The galaxy truly is in a dire state. All life on the galaxy is under strict rule of the created. The AI forces now cured of rampacy and ready to bring pain to those who resist and prosperity to those who comply. This is why at this point Halo Infinite needs to ensure that the opening is strong, as there's going to be so much going on in the galaxy, and in my opinion Halo has a bit of a problem with how many characters, factions and battles it has ongoing at one time. But as we now know that the Halo Infinite E3 2019 trailer is the opening to the game, that was confirmed by the studio head Chris Lee.
Yeah, one thing that I think is really cool that I see people online that are kind of asking questions about is that was the briefing was the opening sequence for our campaign with Master Chief.
Right.
So that's in-engine, in our new Slip Space engine, the opening sequence for the game, kind of launching the story of Master Chief.
Okay.
The reason why, in my opinion, this opening is perfect is because it shows what the Master Chief represents. It's his intentions and the impact he has on those around him. The pilot you see in the trailer, aptly named Brohammer by the community, was truly on his last legs. He was low on supplies, low on energy, and most crucially of all, he was low on hope. When the signal plays, Chief is floating outside of his ship, which has a profound effect on him and us as the players. This element of hope is also an important element for the franchise.
Folks need heroes, Chief. Give them hope.
One of the things I think some of us sometimes forget is that there's a new generation of fans coming to Halo, and they don't necessarily understand what's going on in the rest of the galaxy. Not everybody knows about Dr. Halsey, the Banished, Blue Team and Sanghelios. And perhaps even the stories from the original trilogy, maybe not everybody's played them. This is why Brohammer is an important storytelling utility for 343 to use to tell the story of the Chief, so you know from the offset that he's one that you're going to be experiencing this journey with. This cinematic also accommodates for so many. Halo veterans are itching for some nostalgia, the lore fans want to see a new character that they can learn a lot about, and new fans who can encounter this universe without much context needed, and the neutrals who can appreciate it from afar see a human story in a galaxy with so much going on. Another reason I also think it's perfect is, I'm not sure if this is the intention, but it also seems to be a representation of how the fans might be feeling right now, due to the lackluster treatment of the franchise previously. Halo's had a rocky decade, and with the launch of the MCC and a lackluster title which some felt was Halo 5, it showed a man down on their luck, ready to give up, and the sight of Master Chief which invigorates them and prepares them for a new journey. Fans are in hope that they can have a brand new, really good, high quality Halo game again, and I think this was a representation of that. Perhaps it's not intentional, and maybe I'm actually digging into something that's maybe not there, but it's always food for thought in my opinion. And then in my eyes, the opening shares a lot in common with a lot of the old openings. The start of Halo CE being the pillar of hope, the thing that's going to fight off the danger, in Halo 2 the man that's the most celebrated man in humanity, and in Halo 3 the man who does not give up. I think it was a smart move by 343, and of course I can imagine it might change before launch. I also think that Infinite has been off to a rocking start, and I don't think we should worry about seeing so little of this title just yet, because it's going to be a long way to Halo Infinite in holiday 2020. And then, just in terms of my final thoughts as Brohammer as a character, just to reiterate, I think he is a great storytelling technique for 343 to leverage, so it can actually contextualize things to the player, whether you're new and old. This is what's happening. If you look out onto the scene where Chief's looking at the Halo ring, he explains to you that things are not going well for humanity. You don't need too much context, you just need that little bit of knowledge to seed in the human's mind, so that the Master Chief doesn't have this expectation that he knows what's going on, and you can uncover the events of what's happening around you at that time. You don't need to watch a film, you don't need to watch a TV show, you don't need to read a book to understand what's happened prior. You have this brand new character who's new to you as a player, new to the franchise, and probably new to the events in the universe, contextualizing things, making things simple, and then for those who want a deeper experience, they can also get that from other elements of the games, perhaps terminals. Time will only tell. Overall, like I previously said, this game trailer / opening accommodates for so much. I'm really ready to experience Halo Infinite. I just can't wait to actually see the game in action, and I'm hoping a lot of these motifs are carried out through the whole game as an entirety. But I want to know what your opinion of Halo Infinite's opening cinematic is, and what your favourite opening is down below. Once again, my name is Fletch, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time on the one and the only Ultimate Halo.
Subscribe now to Ultimate Halo for more unfriggin' believable Halo content.